What's good, everyone? So in today's video, I just want to give you guys a rant, and I'm just want to get some stuff off my chest. Why me and I feel other people in this game complain about your decks like the Zodiacs and the Domain Monarchs and etc. So without further ado, let's begin. Start by saying, over the past couple of weeks, I've been noticing I've been getting a lot of motherfuckers in my comment section saying things like, stop complaining about the format, you're a scrub, you're this and this and that, and that's fine, they can think I'm a scrub, whatever. But the thing that's been annoying the fuck out of me is people telling me I'm complaining about the format because I do not like the Zodiac type of deck. Now, this is where I feel like they got me fucked up at. The reason why I and other people complain about decks like Zodiacs, because the decks are just literally unfucking fair, like, no bullshit. And there has not been a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh history that plays off of one card that gives you damn near a +4 or +5. That is ridiculous. Now, that's not to go to say that, hey, I'm not gonna, that's not saying that I'm gonna be the type of person to be like, hey, I'm not gonna play in the game because this game sucks, I'm just gonna quit. Now, those are the real fuckboys of this game that just get mad and quit every format. I just like to rant, bitch, I'm on my channel, only because I want this game to thrive and I want it to thrive better. If you guys watch some of my other videos, you guys will always hear me say things like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh is evolving constantly. It's not just gonna be set one pass. But it does not mean Yu-Gi-Oh has to evolve to a game where every time national season rolls around, there's always one retardedly broken deck, like a Domain Monarch that just completely shits on everything else. Or like Zodiacs, where if you don't play that deck, you lose. And a lot of players have this mentality where you're supposed to play the best deck because that's the best deck of the game, and that's how majority of card games run. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, there's been a lot of great formats in this game where there is always a distinguished meta deck that's better than everything else, but the other decks can still compete. For example, Necros format. That was the last format I actually enjoyed, by the way. The Necros deck was very powerful, and that was a deck that I hated pre the Degen lock. Now, post the Degen lock, once the Degen lock got banned, the deck was good. I was able to play Heroes in that format. Burning Abyss was running rampant in that format. Shadows was in that format. It was a great format, and there was a multitude of decks and rogue decks that might not have been consistent as the top tier decks, but can still compete. And the format was pretty fine for what it was, and Heroes was a great contender, and it was like a tier 2 deck. Then you also have other formats like the format I got my YCS invite, well, top, which was this Chain Gadget format. Now, this was not national season, but it was earlier the 2014 year, where you had a deck that like Infernities and the Fire Fist deck, which was the clear-cut tier 1 decks, but you also had other decks in the format like Gadgets, Chain Gadgets, you had your Madolches, and a multitude of decks that compete. But then you fast forward to, let's say, for example, 2016 Yu-Gi-Oh, where you get the Domain Monarchs, you get the one card Pendulum Scales, the tier 0 Pepe. It seems like every fucking format we get a tier 0 deck after tier 0 deck after tier 0 deck after tier 0 deck. And I've always, like I said, I've always been a player at, no matter what format it is, I'm going to play because I love the game. I'm going to try to tinker out a strategy to beat the said deck that's in charge of the format. But that does not mean that I'm just complaining for the format. I'm talking about a deck that's cancerous because the deck is just cancerous. It is what it is. And I really believe a lot of players are like that, where it's like, we love the game, but they don't mean we can't talk about how bad a deck is. The deck is unhealthy for the game. Like, one card +5 plays. Get the fuck out of here. Domain Monarchs at its peak. You play your Domain in a format with not a lot of outs to it. You sit on your beefy Monarch, have a lot of combo plays, GG no re. Then you have decks like Pepe. You work hard to get rid of the field. Oh, because you didn't pop my Pendulum Scale? Bring my Pendulum Scale back. And it's just like decks like that really makes this game unfun. Now, I remember also seeing an argument. A lot of people say, well, Yu-Gi-Oh has always been a broken game, and Yu-Gi-Oh's been broken since the dawn of time. That's true to an extent. Back when Yu-Gi-Oh first started, we had the things like the Monster Reborns, the Sorrento's Tributes, the Mirror Force, and at their time, they were tier 1, tier 0 type of cards. But, you know, even back then, the game wasn't over in 2 to 3 turns. You can actually enjoy a duel and relax and have some fun. and it was set one pass, going back and forth. But gradually, once we got to the synchro era, that's when things started to get a little cancerous. I guess you could kind of say before synchro era too, because we had the Dark Arm Dragon stuff, but that's neither here or there. And people have always been complaining about decks from the dawn of time. You know, people complain about Dark Arm Dragon, people complain about playing synchro. But the difference between those formats and this type of format, like I said, it's similar to the 2014 format where I actually did well, and the 2015 format where I actually did well, is the simple fact that you can take a deck that's not as good as the best deck and do well, versus this format where it's like, literally speaking, if you don't play the best deck or whatever the money card Konami is trying to push at the moment, like a True Draco or even a dinosaur deck, you're expected to do horrible. And that fucking sucks, but hey, that's just the reality. I mean, we got decks playing off of one card, like fucking Zodiacs. Now, it's just like, I understand where people are coming from. I guess they're just tired of hearing people complain about the deck, and they feel like people who complain are scrubs, and I get it. I truly get it. But at the same time, everyone who complains is not complaining for the sake of complaining and bitching on it. We complain because we love this game. We complain because we have a valid reason to. We're investing into a game we've been playing for 15 years, and when the format goes south, we have a right to speak up about it, because you better believe, it's just like VCTRF has been saying in his videos, the players talk, bullshit walks. If we as the players band together and say, you know what, fuck Konami, we're not playing in this format is dumb, this metagame is dumb, Konami needs to have better card design, guess what? Konami's gonna have better card design. And you know why? Because they want our money. We need to start speaking with our wallets, and we will get better formats. Like, it is a damn shame, going to the ban list now, a damn shame that cards like Stratos are not unbanned. Cards like Sangan and Ant3. OCG has been having that shit for a while. Why haven't the TCG got Stratos off the ban list? Konami, whoever handles the Konami of a TCG portion of Konami, whoever up in the upper charge, or whoever runs that shit, is just like fucking us American players over. And I'm pretty sure the American players are a majority of their profits. So if we backed out of a lot of sets and started banding together to say, fuck this, I'm not going to a tournament because I don't like this format, shit will change. Like, look what they did in the OCG, where in the OCG, a lot of card shops are banning players from playing Zodiac because that deck was just purely unfun. Like, you can play it at the major events in OCG, but you cannot use the deck at locals. Why? Because the deck, like, clearly was stupid. And I understand Konami sometimes can make mistakes, and they probably didn't realize how busted the deck was in the process of card designing. But, you know, I didn't see it, and a lot of people didn't see it, but once you realize something like that can just make +5 off of one card, the deck should just get slaughtered and be done with it. And granted, also, I understand that people who invest into the deck and who invest into the game probably feels like, well, we invested our money into this product and Konami just slaughtered it. That's bad investments on Konami part, and it's bad investments on the player part, due to the fact that, hey, I want to be able to play this product that I just purchased, and that's completely understandable. But that also begs the question of Konami possibly needing to invest more money into getting a better R&D for a game, and possibly just needed to just, you know, wake the fuck up and just realize that players are sick of their shit when it comes down to those tier 0 mechanics and formats. And like I said, once again, sometimes shit just can't be handled, but ultimately at the same damn time, Konami can do a better job with what they're doing. I mean, we've had Zodiacs for enough time where if they get hit, a lot of players won't get mad, and that's only because they personally believe, well, I understand the deck's broken, the deck should be hit. Same thing went from Pepe, the same thing happened to Domain Monarchs and tier 0 decks before. So with all that being said, guys, post your thoughts and opinions about my rant / discussion, I guess, in the comment section down below. I guess the main point I wanted to do this is just talking about, I guess just trying to defend myself on why I'm not really complaining, and people like myself are not really complaining about the format. And we're gonna play in the format, and we're gonna do our best to try to do well. But deep down inside, all of us pretty much know the format is cancerous, and Konami has a potential to make the format better, but we personally feel like they're just not. So yeah, man, personal thoughts and opinions about this comment section down below. This is Chris from Innovation Yugioh, and I'm signing out. If you guys want to check out my second channel, I just uploaded a Dragon Ball Super episode 96 review. So yeah, man, check that out. So yeah, man, this is Chris from Animation Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm signing out. Peace, guys. Stay in the video. Deuces.